President Muhammadu Buhari wants all federal public institutions to migrate their website to relevant government domains. Need to place higher premium on effective policing of the borders re-echoes as President Buhari hosts Secretary General, World Customs Organization. Plus, journey so far with PVC collection in Enugu State, issues arising in less than 48 hours to deadline. These and more on Panorama, reaching you live from the NTA Enugu Network Center. I'm Comfort Ayim. Good afternoon. Remember, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at www.nta.ng/live and all our social media handles displayed on your screen for update. Search and rescue for persons trapped in the rubbles of a collapsed three-story building at 4th Avenue, Gwarimpa, have entered the second day. A statement signed by the head Public Affairs FCT FEMA, Nkechi Issa, indicates that the building under construction went down at about 11 o'clock Thursday morning, trapping on site an unspecified number of construction workers. So far, as of this morning, 21 persons were rescued alive, while 3 others were removed from the rubbles, fatally injured. A rescue team comprising FEMA, NEMA, Red Cross Nigeria, Police, Civil Defense Corps, FRSC, Federal Fire Service, and some construction companies are on the ground to comb for victims. During a visit to the site of the incident on Thursday evening, the FCT Minister Malam Muhammad Musa Bello commiserated with the families of the victims and residents of the FCT over the unfortunate incident. Represented by the Executive Secretary of the Federal Capital Development Authority, Engineer Shehu Hadi Ahmad, the minister said preliminary reports indicate that the land area where this property was standing on was not well positioned. And federal government officials have been directed to henceforth refrain from using private email for official purposes. President Muhammadu Buhari, who gave the directive, said all federal public institutions must also migrate their website to relevant government domains produced by the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. This was while formally unveiling the national policy on Nigerian government second-level domains, as well as the National Data Strategy 2023 to 2027. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
Apart from preserving the identity, security, and global recognition of the Nigerian government on the internet, the use of private emails for official purposes is also a major limitation to the capabilities of securing, archiving, and backing up sensitive data, thereby making it difficult to preserve critical government documents hosted on non-government servers. While this national policy on Nigerian government second-level domains has the purpose of, amongst others, protecting Nigerian cyberspace, promoting transparency in government, and enhancing digital Nigeria, the National Data Strategy has a goal of making data accessible, shareable, and actionable for social and economic gains.
As an administration, we acknowledge that data is the core of the digital economy and a catalyst for wealth generation in the fourth industrial revolution. Nigeria can significantly benefit from the economic and social potentials of data, and we can become a leader in the emerging global data economy, and this national data strategy is a step in the right direction.
The launch brings to 21 the number of new national policies and strategies developed by the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy since 2019, and President Buhari formally applauded the Minister, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantemi, for his commitment to the implementation of the mandate on digital economy.
I urge the Honorable Minister of Communication and Digital Economy to keep up the excellent work. We are very proud of the great strides of our digital economy sector and the impact it has had on the different sectors of our economy. I hereby direct the Honorable Minister to ensure that all relevant institutions and stakeholders ensure the faithful implementation of the national policy on the Nigerian government's second-level domains and the national data strategy.
And we strongly believe that the implementation of these two policies, and most importantly, the compliance of these two policies by our citizens, will go a long way in supporting government to continue to consolidate the achievements of the sector and even all other sectors of our economy. Because today, digital technologies are no more a stand-alone sector, but rather it is the key enabler of all other sectors.
Describing as unprecedented the contributions of the ICT sector to the nation's gross domestic product, which is now 3 times more than the oil sector, the president is also delighted that with the deployment of Starlink services, the first in Africa, Nigeria has achieved 100% broadband penetration in the nation's digital economic journey. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has made a strong case for Nigeria and her neighbors to place higher premium on effective policing of the borders, as the fragile nature of the entry ports into their various countries enhance terrorism, economic sabotage, and illicit flow of arms. He stated this while playing host to the Secretary General World Customs Organization. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
The Secretary General of the World Customs Organization, Dr. Kuniyo Mikuriya, is in Nigeria for a global conference on fragile borders. The subject of the conference, as President Buhari said, is of critical importance to Nigeria, which returns to the polls in the next 3 weeks to elect new leaders for the country.
It is our objective to ensure this takes place in a peaceful and conducive atmosphere. I have made it a cardinal commitment of mine to ensure each Nigerian is able to exercise their franchise by participating in a free and fair election in true practice of our relatively nascent democracy.
Nigeria, he said, is honored to have the privilege of hosting the first ever global conference on enabling customs in fragile and conflict-affected situations.
It is our sincere hope that the conference will seek to understand the operating environment that exists around countries who struggle with fragile borders and see how comprehensive and exhaustive solutions can be proposed that deal with the multifaceted nature of this issue, such that solutions are not burdensome but are properly allocated to all those who are a party and have vested interest in ensuring that we jointly tackle this menace.
The president said already Nigeria has embarked on various measures towards achieving the objectives. These include supporting the armed forces in effectively policing the nation's borders, integrating technology into border operations, strengthening the customs service, and providing stiffer sanctions against smuggling and other acts of economic sabotage. The chief scribe of the World Customs Organization, Dr. Kuniyo Mikuriya, who appreciated Nigeria for hosting the global conference, said customs services must now go beyond mere revenue generation and delve into security, without which, especially at the borders, the needed revenue cannot be effectively collected.
This conference is very important because it is to really raise the visibility of customs role in security. This project was suggested by Colonel Adi 7 years ago, but then gradually it gained currency in the global customs community. Customs is often the target of armed groups. Because if you choke customs, you can choke the local economy, but also revenue of the central government.
The Secretary General of the World Customs Organization, who is visiting Nigeria for the 4th time, has been formally commended by the President for his efforts at deepening the skill set in the evolution and growth of the Nigeria Customs Service in the 21st century. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
With the increase of 450 and 500 naira pump price of petrol, residents now choose to face the long queue at the few filling stations that dispense at the official pump price of between 194 naira and 195 naira, a situation that has further escalated a peaceful protest in Enugu State. The report. It is a long trip time for commuters and motorists plying the Enugu-Abakaliki Expressway. Following the congestion, you can see around me coming from a mega filling station dispensing the product at the government's official pump price.
Now, because of to buy cheaper price, now the cost hold up because mega they say cheap.
I'm trekking because I couldn't get fuel.
The rich also cry, the proud becomes humble, as some are beginning to park their vehicles. This statement best describes fuel situation in Enugu and even the zone. The roads are getting emptier and the filling stations are getting busier, with residents stranded in search of the products at an affordable price. While some sleep over, others come at midnight and still spend 4 to 5 hours on the queue.
Since yesterday night I was here, but now I did not get fuel. We've always been selling at government approved price, even before now.
He who plays the pipe dictates the tune. This was the case at NNPC, described by customers as the last hope of the common man in such situation as the alleged irregularities.
The gate is here, they have an exit gate here, but they bring people in.
They allow their friends to take one way, which distracts other people that are on queue. So the best way to go about is to produce tally.
The manager, who declined to comment on camera, claimed the crowd is beyond control and halted operation, though later resumed services with the presence of the NTA news crew. He explained that the station gets 2 to 4 trucks in a month and has to discharge accordingly. The lingering hike in price of fuel in the state provoked tricycle operators to protest as it affects transportation fare.
We are tired of the price of fuel in Enugu State. We came to buy fuel again. We now saw 417 naira. From 417 naira. Now so we now saw 500 this morning.
With the situation on ground, what is expected in the coming days? A question that yearns for an answer. Participants at a one-day Southeast Zonal public hearing on the review of Remuneration Package Act 2008 want it applied to the letter on some office holders in Nigeria, considering the current economic situation in the country, as well as to increase accountability and transparency in their activities. Chinenye reports that the public hearing is at the instance of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission.
Gathered in this hall are key players in the political, judicial, and public service sectors, as well as civil society groups. They are here to review the remuneration packages for political, public, and judicial office holders, which was last reviewed in 2008, 15 years ago. One of the functions of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation, and Fiscal Commission, organizers of this exercise, is to examine the existing remuneration package of office holders and review from time to time the revenue allocation formula and principles in operation to ensure conformity with the changing realities.
So you know inflation, the political realities, the changes in economic affairs. So we are looking at it because things have changed fundamentally, and particularly when it concerns the judicial office holders. So we're a situation where a judge will be in one position for the next 15 years in the same salary structure. And so we are looking at that. It's a review we are trying to do.
Participants at the event believe that there should be urgent need to review the remuneration package of judicial office holders, as it will motivate and enhance the quick dispensation of justice and reduce corruption in the country, among others. They also made other submissions.
We will be talking about salaries, but these are people that we pay for everything they do. The water they drink, even when they want to sneeze, we pay for their sneezing. So when we talk about reviewing salaries, their own must not be lumped up with public office holders or public civil servants.
It is hoped that the outcome of this public hearing, conducted simultaneously in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, will go a long way in helping the Commission close the gap in salary disparity existing among some public office holders, among others. In Enugu, Chinenye Nwoye, NTA News.
Infrastructure is essential to regions' economic development as it provides the basis for business operations, job creation, and human capital development. It is on that note that President Muhammadu Buhari's administration made various strategic investments to capture the economic potentials of the state and regions in the country. Susan Eze reports on some of the key infrastructure investment of the federal government in Enugu State.
The transport sector, as one of the key drivers of any viable economy, has received tremendous attention in the President Muhammadu Buhari administration. Some of the major benefiting roads which still have works ongoing are the Enugu-Onitsha Express Road under the Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credit Scheme, the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway Section 3, and the old Enugu-Onitsha Road.
So I believe that the government of Muhammadu Buhari, in terms of infrastructure, can compare above average what we got from PDP. Because if you recall that the Southeast entirely has always been PDP, one would expect that within just the 4 years of an APC government, we need not be talking about the Enugu-Onitsha, Enugu-Port Harcourt Road. It ought to have been done.
Some completed interventions in federal establishments in the state include the rehabilitation of internal roads in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and Enugu campuses, as well as the rehabilitation and construction of culverts at the Federal School of Dental Technology and Therapy, Enugu. These efforts are appreciated by the academic communities.
I'm exceedingly very happy with the road because like it gave the school a facelift.
Really, I want to say thank you to the federal government for what they have done.
In 2019, President Muhammadu Buhari personally commissioned the world-class CBN Postgraduate Center of Excellence at the Enugu campus of the University of Nigeria. This project, he said, underscores the federal government's commitment to providing the needed infrastructure for efficient learning at all levels of education. Also on the 30th of August 2020, the rehabilitated and upgraded Akanibiam International Airport, Enugu, was inaugurated, another project standing out to the credit of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration.
I wish to put on record profound gratitude of His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari for his unparalleled support and commitment to this historic and timely critical infrastructure upgrade. A clear testimony of his determination to rebuild the nation through the provision of critical infrastructure to stimulate economic growth and development of the Nigerian nation.
Considering the socio-economic impacts of these and other federal projects in Enugu State, the people appreciate the investments of the federal government in providing these life-changing infrastructure. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Taking a break here, Panorama continues in a moment to join us again. Glad to have you back on Panorama. The Independent National Electoral Commission in Enugu State says eligible voters are taking advantage of the one-week extension given by the Commission to pick up their permanent voter cards at different collection centers. And Chimaroke Ugu brings us a situation report.
So today, as at the 7th week of this collection, INEC Enugu State have distributed and people have collected 199,669 PVCs. We have in stock now 181,563.
He said the extension of the PVC collection by 1 week was approved to enable Nigerians who are yet to get their PVC ahead of the general elections to do so before the deadline. He noted that the Commission will continue to act on all reported cases of sharp practices by ensuring that no Nigerian is disadvantaged.
The PVC lies there calling, waiting for the rightful owner to come and collect it. Some people who registered in 2011 and some people who registered in 2015 or what have you, wishes to again to register, fail to understand what INEC message is. That if you registered before, you are not ought to register again. You can do what we call voter transfer.
He, however, called on Enugu residents who have not collected their PVCs to make use of the ample opportunity of the extension to pick up their PVC, which is their requirement to vote in the elections. Glad about the extra time to pick up their PVCs, some Enugu residents eulogized the doggedness of INEC to make sure all registered voters participate in the electoral process.
INEC is doing perfectly well. This with the experience I had now. Give this thing just 30 minutes. Driving down or entering vehicles to those places and picking it.
I collected mine today and it's very easy, no stress at all.
This is my PVC. For those of you out there, go and get your PVC and cast your votes.
The one-week extension of the PVC collection will end on Sunday, the 5th of February 2023. In Enugu, Chimaroke Ugu, NTA News.
That reports on journey so far with PVC collection in Enugu State forms a background for discussion on today's Panorama. Joining me in the studio to do justice to this burning issue is Mr. Achumie Chuka Rex, Head of Department, Voter Education and Publicity, INEC, Enugu State. Sir, you're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Yes, Achum.
Yeah, the clock is ticking and INEC is on preparation to end collection of PVC after the one-week extension. What is the situation in Enugu State?
Well, the situation so far is that the turnout has been good. People have been turning out to collect their PVC. And the rush that we witnessed at the onset of the collection of the PVC has equally reduced. The complaint equally reduced. Because both at the state level and at the local government level, a committee was set to attend to people's to handle people's complaints, and I hope that has tremendously helped in reducing the complaints so far.
All right, are there challenges confronting the distribution of the card?
At the onset of the collection, actually there are challenges, although not peculiar to the commission as a body. They're rather from the people who actually comes to collect the PVC. Most of them lost the printout that was given to them at the point of registration. That at times we find out that the staff of the commission resort in going through the names in order to find them.
Thank you, sir, for giving us an update on that process. Moving on, Ebonyi State Government has donated 22 utility trucks and over 100 motorcycles to security agencies in Ebonyi State. Kanayo Okoro reports that the gesture is to ensure adequate security of citizens before, during, and after the general elections.
And motorcycles to security agencies, Governor Umahi said the donation is to complement efforts of the federal government in tackling insecurity in the state. He further appealed to them to curtail the number of security orderlies assigned to politicians in the state in order to beef up personnel available for security of people and properties in this electionary period.
Let nobody use this vehicle, alone. At least 2 or 3 must be on the road, fully, equipped because of bandits. I don't want to hear that this vehicle is burnt. To be so painful because we have to borrow money to do this.
Commissioner of Police Aliu Gaba thanked the governor for the donation and assured that the gesture will support security agencies in the state to greater productivity.
I want to sincerely appreciate and thank His Excellency the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State for deeming it necessary and very important. The vehicles provided to us with the motorcycles are going to be used in the best we can and to the best of our ability and responsibility as security.
The police and army special units are to get 5 utility trucks each, while other vehicles and the motorcycles will be distributed among other security agencies in Ebonyi State. In Abakaliki, Kana Yokoro, NTA News.
And that's much we can take on Panorama this afternoon from the NTA Enugu Network Center. Thank you for watching and good afternoon. I'm Comfort Aim.